guys, and welcome back to another video. So on today's video we are going to talk about the recent patch that we had in the game, and specifically, since it wasn't like a huge patch, I want to talk about two things that happened in this patch. So the first part is the new content part, where we're going to talk about the Prince Nobility title, and the second part is going to be about the improvement on Armidon Commander. So let's start with the new Princess Nobility title, which is going to be really focused around PvP and getting your individual merit over 50 million points. So if you head over to your honor token and nobility page on the top left, so if we move to the nobility page, after the master nobility rank, which is right here, we are going to be available to get the prince nobility title. So the requirements for the prince nobility title is going to be 1.5 billion points of power and a minimum of 100 million merit. So this merit is not going to be the same as it used to be, and we're going to have two different merit counts. The one is going to be the historical merit count, where it's going to have your merit that you have accumulated over the years playing the game. As you're going to see on the bottom right, my historical merit is 422 million, but we're going to have a second counter for our merit, which is going to decay every Monday by 5%, if you are over 50 million merit, of course. So the Prince Nobility title, you would ask, why would you ever wanna push that? Well, the Prince attribute bonus is going to increase your favor attack, your favor defense, and your favor health, as well as if you are over rank 50, it's going to give you an allied casualty rate reduction. So this Prince ranking is going to be strictly for your second counter for your merit, which is going to be the decaying one. So this is going to be an ongoing list of players that actually actively hunting for merit and getting merit points in order to go higher on the Prince ranking tree. So just a few things to talk about for the favor attack, for example. Even if you make it in here for being 71st to 100 place, you are going to get, so even on the lower ranks, we are going to get a 25% of favor defense increase, and as you are going higher and higher in the princess ranking, you're gonna get better bonuses, and if you are the number one in merit points, you're gonna get 45% favor attack, 45 favor defense, and 45 favor health increase, and last but not least, of course, you're gonna get an additional 5% casualty rate reduction. So those are really nice buffs that you're going to get, but of course they're limited to 100 players in the whole game, the ones that are going to actively hunting for merit. But my opinion on the print system is that the power requirement is like not a great addition, since in order to be able to keep moving and fighting on multiple kingdoms, you're gonna need to drop your power lower, so the cost of scrolls is going to be less. Having over 1.5 billion power each time is gonna make your trips very hard and expensive. So here we are back in the notice screen, and this is where I want to talk about the second improvement that we had in the game, a huge buff in Commander Armidon for his awakening skill. I think this is going to be really good, which essentially doubles his overall damage output, maybe a little bit more than doubles. So his awakening skill was that at the start of the battle, every 20 weakness attacks, Armidon is going to launch an attack on 2 random enemy targets, and is going to deal 80% damage. This is also going to increase the weakness attack damage by 5. But since the recent patch, the developers reduced the required number of attacks from 20 down to 10, so this is exactly 50% less hits necessary in order to activate his 4-star ability, and of course they also increase the damage output from the coefficient from 80% to 100%. So my eyes, the decrease on the requirements of the number of attacks is going to bring Irmidon overall usefulness really high. So Irmidon, of course, since his weakness attacks oriented, his favorite commander of course going to be Jamie Lannister. And since Irmidon is a total stats commander, you are going to be able to run him with any formation that you have. You can run infantry weakness, you can run spearman weakness, you can run cavalry weakness. It doesn't really matter. But where I think that Irmidon is going to be really strong is going to be during defense. So if you have a 3-way weakness defense plus Irmidon, I think the overall damage output against the enemies is going to be insane. Because not even counting his bonus weakness damage, the 6% each time he's gonna increase the weakness damage, it's going to be really easy to activate 10 weakness attacks when you're going to run a 3-way defense. So here I got a report from when I got rallied a few months ago, but this is where I want to showcase the power of the 3-way defense plus how would Armidon work on this one. So here at some point on the 31st second of the battle, I have accumulated almost a total of 600% extra weakness damage towards my enemy. So if we calculate that, let's round it up to 600. This means that my troops have done over 200 weakness attacks with a stacking number of 3% each time. So that means that if we take that 200 weakness attacks and again divide it by 10 for Armidon 4-star ability, we're gonna get an additional 20 activations of Armidon. 20 activations of Armidon plus his 100% coefficient against 2 enemy lines is a huge amount of damage. In additional of that amazing damage that I think that Armidon is going to pop out, having the extra weakness damage from the last part of his 4-star ability, that each time he attacks an enemy lineup, it's going to increase the weakness damage by 6%. This is going to mean that if he activates a total of 20 times, for example in this battle, I'm gonna get another 120% extra damage on top of my existing weakness damage. So if we take both those aspects into consideration, I would say that Armidon is one of the best commanders to have in your lineup for a 3-way defense, and I think he's going to make your castle not only be able to tank effectively versus the enemies, but also being able to deal a huge amount of damage against them. Since most of the people now run a single troop type formation, running Armidon and 3-way weakness, I think it's the best thing you can do for your defense. So this pretty much covers the entire of the patch, the 2.0.5.7 update that we had a few days ago. Not huge changes, especially for the Armidon part. Not many people have that Commander 4-star yet, so it's not going to play a vital role for everyone, but of course the Prince nobility system is going to affect everyone that has merit over 50 million points. So as I said, that pretty much concludes my video about the recent patch notice. So thanks for watching guys, and I will see you on the next one.
I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. my heart afire.